Hello and welcome to Yoga Flow with Monica. I am Monica and today we're gonna do some yoga for legs, so mostly for your hamstrings. I have a very tight hamstrings this morning because I was for a run yesterday and I didn't stretch out enough. So this is a very nice routine to do straight after the run, or maybe you did some sports in the evening and you feel a little bit tight in the morning. If you have blocks or a strap, you could grab it now. It will be useful. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a belt or even of your maybe nightgown or a tie if you're a guy. That's totally fine as well. We're gonna start actually in seated position, but we're gonna bring our feet together and we're gonna open the knees to the sides, knees bend. And inhale and exhale. Here you can close your eyes if you wish. We just settle into the practice. It won't be a long practice, but it's always nice to start practice with the closed eyes, straight spine, and breathing through your nose slowly. Inhale and exhale a couple times more. One more. And we're gonna go into the all fours, onto all fours. Remember, wrists above shoulders, knees above the hips. And we're gonna do free cat and cow just to wake up the spine. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round your back. Try to tuck the belly in. Twice more. Inhale, shoulders go away from the ears, shoulder blades come together. Exhale, round the back. Once more. Inhale, arch the back, shoulder blades come together, you open your chest. Exhale, round the back. And come back to neutral. Tuck the toes and slowly lift yourself up into the downward dog. So if it's morning and it's the first downward dog, you might feel very, very tight in your legs, especially in your hamstrings. So first we're gonna focus on the back. So really spreading wide through those fingers, pushing away from the mat, growing as tall as possible with your spine, with your tailbone. And then once you think that that's it, you can't go any higher with your spine, then maybe slowly start lowering the heels down and opening the legs tiny bit. So straightening the knees tiny bit, but don't overdo it. Try to be gentle. Inhale and exhale. One more. Then look to the top of the mat and take a couple of small steps to come all the way in between your palms. And we're gonna stay here in forward fold Uttanasana for 3 breaths. If you wish, you can grab your opposite elbows. That will help you release this back a little bit more. Or you can even interlace your palms and bring the palms behind your neck and let the elbows hang heavy, facing towards the floor. Try to look for that nice connection, belly to thighs. Release your upper body so we're not tensing anything. One more breath. Release the palms down. We're gonna inhale. Try to straighten the legs a little bit more, bringing the torso parallel to the floor. Exhale down. We're gonna do twice more. Inhale up, straighten the legs, torso and neck is parallel to the floor. Exhale down. Once more. Inhale, shoulder blades maybe even come together. Exhale, lower it down. And then with the next inhale, we're gonna lift ourselves up. Bring the arms up and over, palms together, releasing them in front of the heart. Samastiti. Inhale and exhale. Observe how you feel. One more breath here. Inhale, raise the arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring them behind your back. Interlace the palms and start lowering down into Uttanasana with the arms behind your back. Opening up a little bit more the hamstrings, but try to look for that nice connection, as I mentioned, belly to thighs, rather than really rounding your spine and bringing your head towards the legs. Inhale and exhale. Maybe straighten the legs a little bit more. Don't worry if they're not straight. I'm very tight today as well, so they're not always perfectly straight. Release the palms to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower it down. Step both legs to the back of the mat. And then slowly release the knees down and start bending into the elbows, releasing yourself down to the mat. Engaging the legs, so that's where we're gonna kind of try to strengthen the hamstrings a little bit. Bring the arms next to your body, legs really engaged, and we're gonna lift ourselves up into Shalabhasana. But try really lengthen through those legs. So the legs are engaged, you're pointing towards the back of the mat. Arms as well, fingers pointing towards the back of the mat. One more breath here. Releasing down and releasing the left cheek to the ground. One more breath here, and then you're gonna lift, coming to the middle. Again, engaging the legs and arms, lifting yourself up. Really strengthening, like lengthening and strengthening through the legs. Shoulders together, shoulder blades together, shoulders away from the ears. And releasing down. Now the right cheek to the ground. Last inhale here. Again, coming back to the center, lifting ourselves again. So lifting the legs and arms together, trying to reach to the back of the mat with our arms, as well as pointing through those legs, pointing through your feet. And slowly releasing down, bringing palms next to your ribs or your chest. Pushing yourself away from the mat, bringing the big toes together and releasing down to the child's pose. Just for 2 breaths here. Deep inhales and exhales. Don't forget to be always mindful of your breath. Then we slowly gonna lift up, tuck the toes, and we're gonna come into another downward dog. We're gonna stay here for 5 breaths. If you want, you can bend one leg, straighten another one for 1 cycle of breath, then change. Do it twice more, or you can come back to the still downward dog with both legs straight. 2 more breaths here. Remember, your spine should be straight as well. You're not rounding it, even if you're opening the legs. So try always to keep that spine straight. Last breath. I'm gonna straighten both of my legs. Checking in, maybe your heels coming tiny bit closer and your knees are tiny bit straighter. Looking to the front of the mat, and we're gonna step the right leg in between the palms. If you can't do it, you can step halfway and then help with your arm. Back leg, back foot kind of comes to parallel to the shoulders of the mat, and we're gonna come into warrior 2. So front knee is bent, back leg is straight and active, looking straight through those right fingers. I have a sun in my face, it's hard. But try to relax your shoulders. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. And then slowly circle the arms down back to the mat. Bring the front leg to the back and come into downward dog. Inhale, exhale. 1 more. straighten through that spine, tailbone is reaching high, and then slowly releasing down the heels towards the mat. We're gonna step the left leg in between the palms now. Back foot parallel to the shoulders of the mat, coming into warrior two on the left side. Release the shoulders away from the ears. Back leg is strong and straight. Front knee is bending, tracking that middle toe, not falling in or out. One more breath here. And then slowly circling back the arms to the mat, bringing the front leg to the back. Downward dog. Inhale, exhale. One more, check in. Maybe you can go tiny bit deeper, but don't force it. Just be gentle. Looking to the top of the mat, stepping the right leg again in between the palms, releasing the left knee to the ground. And I would say maybe pick up the blocks if you have it. If you don't worry. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna just stay here in low lunge for one breath. Inhale and exhale. And we're gonna go into half split. So we're gonna bring our glutes towards the back of the mat, but not all the way down, just till your front leg straightens. And I would suggest you to flex the toes towards you and keep that leg straight. I like the blocks because it helps me to come up a bit higher with my spine. If not, I'm gonna round my back a lot. But you know, if you don't have a block, it's not a problem. You can come on your fingertips and just stay there. Just make sure that you don't collapse into the back. So we're gonna stay here for 3 more breaths. So really kind of, again, trying to bring, to find that connection, you know, belly to thighs, chest to your knee, and the head comes last. Inhale, exhale, right leg is active. Last breath. And then taking the blocks to the sides, bending into the right leg, tucking the toe, lifting the left knee away from the floor, and bringing the front leg to the back. Another downward dog. I would suggest you this time really bend into the left knee and really straighten that right leg. Make sure you don't overlock the knee. So the knee should be still straight, still quite soft, but the leg can be quite straight. Inhale and exhale. One more. Now we're gonna look to the front of the mat and step the left leg in between the palms, releasing the right knee this time to the ground. Coming here just for one breath into low lunge. So this position is excellent for opening your hip flexors. But since we're concentrating a little bit more on our hamstrings, I'm gonna come into half splits on left side. So straighten that left leg. Sometimes you might need to bring the leg tiny bit to the front so you can flex the toes towards you. And we're gonna stay here for 3 breaths. So with every inhale, kind of lengthen yourself, your spine. Imagine that someone is pulling you through your crown. And with an exhale, you might go tiny bit deeper. Again, inhale, find that length, really fill the lungs. And then with an exhale, maybe go tiny bit deeper. One more. Exhale. And then we slowly start bending into the left knee this time. Blocks to the side. Tucking the right leg this time, lifting that right knee and bringing the front leg to the back. Inhale and exhale, and this time I would say bend into the right knee and leave that left leg relatively straight. You might even reach the floor with your heel when you're in this position, when it's only one leg is straight. Just try. But as I mentioned, don't force it. The effort in practicing yoga should be around 5 to 6 out of 10. Just because if you overforce your muscles, they won't relax and they won't stretch. Inhale, exhale. Come back to classical downward dog with both legs relatively straight. Look to the front of the mat, and we're gonna step the right leg again in between the palms, back leg parallel to the shoulders of the mat, and we're gonna start coming into triangle pose. So straightening that front leg, so right leg is straight. Again, if you have a block, you can bring the block inside or outside that right leg, and we slowly start opening towards the ceiling. Left arm reaches towards the ceiling or the sky, and we try to opening up. So really open up that chest. So the left chest is trying to open towards ceiling or the sky. The front leg is straight, the back leg is straight. You should feel a very nice stretch in your inner thigh and hamstring in your front leg. 2 more breaths. You can look towards the ceiling or in front of you, or even to the ground if today is not the balancing day for you. 1 more breath. Start looking down now. Start releasing the left arm towards the floor, squaring the hips to the front, and that leg, back leg, comes a little bit closer in. And we're coming into pyramid pose. Inhale and exhale, both legs are straight. Imagine that your legs makes like a pyramid pose. And again, you can have the blocks or no. We're gonna first come parallel to the floor with our torso. Both legs are active, so really push through that back leg as well. You're pushing into the left heel. Inhale, exhale, and then we slowly start sinking in, coming a little bit closer towards that leg, releasing down, and continue breathing. I'm not sure if you hear, but I have some friends here, seagulls, and they're making loads of noise, so apologies about that if you can hear them. Inhale and exhale. Really let the belly release, your torso release towards that right leg. Inhale, exhale. 1 more. Excellent. Then lift yourself up tiny bit. Bring that left leg tiny bit to the back, and then bring the front leg again to the back, coming into downward dog. If you wish, you again can bend into the left leg and keep the right leg really straight. But again, don't overlock the knee, so the knee is straight. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. Great. Now we're gonna step the left leg in between the palms. We're gonna repeat the same on the left side. So back leg comes parallel to the shoulders of the mat, and we're gonna start straightening that left thigh, left leg, and coming into triangle pose. Again, as you remember, both legs are straight, but knees are soft. Chest is opening towards the ceiling. The right arm reaches towards the ceiling, and we try to open all body to the sides. So imagine that you're next to the wall. You should be touching the wall with all sides of the body. Inhale and exhale. As I mentioned, you can look as well towards the ceiling or in front of you, whatever feels more comfortable. Inhale, exhale, just 1 more. Then look down to the mat. Start releasing the right arm to the mat, squaring the hips to the front, bringing that back leg tiny bit closer, and we're gonna come into triangle pose. It's kind of like triangle posture with your legs. First, bring the torso parallel to the floor. Inhale and exhale. Try to bring that left hip backwards and right hip forward. That will help you to stretch. And then with the next exhale, you can release it down. Maybe go a little bit deeper into the pose. I'm gonna stay here for 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Let head release towards the floor. 1 more breath here. Then we're gonna lift ourselves a tiny bit, bring the front leg to the back, and coming into downward dog. Again, only if you wish. You can keep the right leg bent and really straighten the left leg. Inhale and exhale. Check in with your back. Make sure you're not jeopardizing, so the back is strong and long. Great. We're gonna release now both knees, so bend into the knees. We're gonna release them to the ground. Bring the big toes together and relax down into child's pose, just before coming up into downward dog. The last time. Inhale and exhale. One more. Slowly start lifting yourself up, tucking the toes and coming into last downward dog of the practice. So really, first come, check in with your back, fingers spreading wide. You're really lifting your back as high as you can. And then we slowly start straightening the legs and bringing the heels towards the mat. And we're gonna stay here for 2 more breaths. I should have mentioned, heels don't have to touch the mat. That's not the goal. The goal is to stretch hamstrings. And if they're stretching, you're doing it correct. Great. Then again, we're gonna slowly start bending into the knees, bring the legs to one side, and we're gonna come into seated. Bring the legs in front of you straight. Inhale and exhale. For this, I actually use the strap. I quite like going into Paschimottanasana or forward fold with the strap. It helps you to really kind of keep the nice length in your spine, but at the same time, you're still stretching your legs. So if you have a strap or a belt, or even rolled up towel actually works. I should have mentioned in the beginning of the class. So you just hook your strap on your feet, and then you slowly start going forward, but without really, pushing yourself in. It helps you to keep a nice straight back, relax shoulders. If you don't have a strap, just work towards reaching the feet, but you don't have to reach the feet, Even if your palms are over the shins or ankles, it's totally fine. As long as you feel some nice stretching at the back of your legs, that's working. 2 more breaths here. 1 more. And then we slowly release it. And we're gonna lie down onto the mat with knees bent. So lie down on the mat, knees bent. Again, if you have a strap, pick up the strap. We're gonna lift the right leg up, and we're gonna hook the strap onto that right leg. If you don't have a strap, just hook your calf or just below the knee. Not over the knee, because most likely you're gonna bend it. So above or below the knee. Inhale and exhale. We slowly try to bring that leg tiny bit closer to you. Let it release, let the hip sink into the mat as well. So the area, the upper leg is totally relaxed. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. And what we're gonna do now, we're actually gonna straighten the left leg slowly. That might intensify the stretch. If it's too much, just come back, bring the leg back and bend into the knee. If not, just stay here. Just 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale, let the leg relax. It will stretch better if your muscles relaxed. 1 more breath. Excellent. Then slowly start bending into the leg, releasing the strap, bringing both knees into your chest, and just rolling maybe from side to side if you wish. Just giving a mini massage to your lower spine. Release the legs down again. Straighten the left now. Hook that strap if you have, or a towel, or a tie. Or if you don't have, again, just grab the leg below or above the knee, whatever feels comfortable. Just make sure that when you grab the leg, you don't come up with your shoulder blades. So shoulder blades are relaxed to the floor. So 2 more breaths here. That very important, let that hip sink into the mat. So it is relaxed, okay? This area of the leg around your glutes are totally relaxed. And then just gentle strength in your arms, helping you to bring the leg tiny bit closer. If the knee is more bent than mine, it's totally fine as well, as long as you feel some nice stretches in your hamstrings. 1 more breath here. And then we slowly start releasing the right leg down to the mat. Again, observe it. If it's a little bit too much around maybe your growing area, just come back with the bent knee. 2 more breaths here. 1 more. And then gently start bending into that left leg. Releasing the strap, we won't need it anymore today. We're gonna hug the knees into the chest again, if you wish, and if you don't have sensitive spine or very hard surface under your back, you can go from side to side. And just before coming into Shavasana, we're gonna straighten both legs out. Straighten both legs out as much as you can. And then we're gonna do 5 times flex and point your toes. So flex the toes towards you, point the toes. Flex toes and observe which muscles are actually being activated while you do that. Point. 3 more times. Flex, point. Last time. Flex and point. And then bend the knees, hug the knees. You can even lift your nose towards the knees, just hugging yourself. You did a really good job. And then slowly releasing the feet down. And we're gonna start straightening the legs out. Coming into Shavasana. So straightening the legs out, wiggle and fidget as much as you wish before you find a very comfortable place. Palms facing towards the ceiling or the sky. The legs as well are flop open, as wide as the mat or maybe even wider. You can close your eyes if it feels good for you. And we're gonna stay here for a minute or so to relax and let the body observe all the benefits of today's practice. You can concentrate on your breath or scan your body, going through the body to see how it feels. Or just stay where you are with the quiet mind and body in Shavasana. If you wish, you can stay a little bit longer in Shavasana. If not, just start making slightly deeper inhales and exhales. Maybe moving the fingers and the toes. You can slowly start bending into the knees, bringing the feet to the ground. Rolling towards the right side, pausing for a second, just appreciating your body, being grateful for this time you spent with it, and then pushing into the left palm gently and coming into seated position. Come into seated position. Bring the palms together in front of the heart, and we're gonna seal the practice. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you enjoyed this practice. As I mentioned, it is quite focused on your hamstrings and it's excellent to do after any type of cardio, running, cycling, or maybe you were lifting weights, which was more focus on your lower body. So yeah, as always, if you have any comments or requests, drop them below the video and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I hope you enjoyed this nice scene in the port of Valencia, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!